Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be reviewing Big City Greens Season 2 Episode 23, the second half, and it is called Winter Greens, and we have a clip, and this is around the beginning of it. Sorry, But basically, we had this news reporter guy, and he's broadcasting, and how saying oh, the snow is came out of nowhere, but it's only gonna last for a day. You know how kind of when snow falls, but it's not that much, and it kind of melts. That actually does happen in real life. It doesn't really last too long. But when it snows heavier, it lasts more days. And Benny's tongue is stuck to it's stuck to a pole. And so, what do you have to say, young man? And he's my tongue's stuck. It's all such inspirational words. And we get to Cricket and Remy, and they're doing a snowball fight. Cricket obviously wins the first round. Well, actually 14th round. Is you ready for round 15? And Remy's like, yeah, that might be a fun idea, but how about I can be on your team this time? Is yeah, okay. And say, oh, with your high school intellect, along with my one good arm, we will be unstoppable. Now we need someone to play against. Excuse me. And your Remy's kind of thinking, oh, maybe we can use the robot butler and teach it to fight. Remy slips on some ice. Vasquez saves him. I kind of like how he's wearing he's still wearing his, uniform, but he's wearing a white sweater, like a turtleneck. And I like how Cricket and Remy some snow outfits. I love it. It's all Vasquez who saved me. Yeah, it's my duty, Master Remy. And then Cricket has an idea. Hey, Vasquez, maybe you can snowball fight us. And then Vasquez obviously just says no. And Remy says, no, please, Vasquez, you must play with us. And Cricket keeps on throwing snowballs at him. He's no, I can't. I'm Master Remy's bodyguard. Even if a snowball injures him, it's my prime directive to help him, not hurt him. Even if it's just a playful snowball fight. And Cricket has an idea. Hey, I know how Vasquez can play with us. And I was like, okay, Cricket, what's your plan? And hold on. Cricket's like, hey, so Vasquez has to protect your body when he's a bodyguard, right? And he's like, yeah. Then fire him. I'm like, what? and he said, no. Fire him temporarily, and then when he gives us a good game, we win or lose. Then you can hire him back. Oh, that's a great idea, Cricket. Here's the thing. Cricket should know this by now, because how many times has he interacted with Vasquez? Especially with Remy. Before he interacted with Cricket, Remy knows Vasquez is very top of the line, not just bodyguard. Very top of the line, CIA, special forces, agent. We saw him, someone's neck. Either he killed him or put him to sleep. And he has a helicopter, and his father was also in this business. Am I crazy to think that Cricket and Remy should have known that by saying, Vasquez, you must give us a good game and don't hold back? I'm kind of like, I know they're just kids, but even though I was talking about this with someone, he said, well, I think Remy was just assuming that he was gonna hold back, even though Remy told him not to. Yeah, but when you fire him, we even see this. Remy's like, oh, Vasquez, hey, I can talk to you again. Hey, you're fired. Oh my goodness. And dang, he trapped. He's crying because, again, this is his livelihood. You know about men and their livelihood. And Remy's like, don't worry, I'll hire you back, but when you give us a good game. Don't hold back, you hear? Oh my goodness. Remy, Cricket, you dug your own grave. Well, I mean, I guess they do suffer the consequences, actually. And I always give them slack when kids make a dumb mistake and they learn, face the consequences. Vasquez goes on all out. It says it right there, Vasquez unhinged. So I'm actually going to take back the points because they actually do suffer a lot. So, yeah. So, yeah. And look at Cricket Ramsey. Yay, he's going to obliterate us. You know, you have 10 seconds. And even Cricket says, oh, it's 2 against 1. We're going to obliterate him. And look at the high-tech gear that he has. And I just want to play this right here. Did I really mess up the volume? Oh, hold up. We're doing that again. Hold on. Let me just fix this. So it's not too loud. Can't believe I messed this up. Okay. Hopefully this will be better. So sorry about that, but basically he said if Master Remy wants a good game, then I'm gonna give him a good game. He takes off his ponytail, he has these high tech glasses. Yeah. And we can have a B plot with Tilly and Nancy. Awesome, mother daughter bonding. And say, oh, you know, nature's wintry salt. Hey, do you have a name for her, Tilly? And say, I'm thinking Margaret. Oh, love it. And it's Tilly's shirt. And say, oh, I have activities for us to do with Margaret. Margaret's life, get me out of snow, melt. Yeah. And then Tilly's like, the end. And then it's like, what about the stuff in between? I just want to play this right here. Oh my goodness.
I move swiftly for a snow person. She's a banana. Green on the table, but brown in the hand. Whoa.
Oh my goodness, Tilly. She just says like the best quotes. She's just like, oh, you know, the time moves quickly for a snow person. Like, oh, she's like a banana, a green on the outside and brown on the inside. Was the time in the hand, like time. And this is like, oh my goodness, look at her reaction right here. That's so bleak. It's like, we need to, even to say, oh hey, look, she's dripping. If this is Margaret's last day on Earth, then it should be the best. It should be well fulfilled, right? Until it's like, isn't against the idea. It's like, oh, I suppose. And let me see the list. And she gets a marker or permanent marker, and who knows? And they let's go. And we said to I like how Cricket how he makes the snowballs. Once, twice, thrice. Okay, Remy, we're prepared. Look how many snowballs. Look at all the effort they did. It's to keep a keen eye out for Vasquez. They see the bush is kind of rustling a little bit. It's, oh shh. And they're kind of like, oh. And Cricket's like, oh okay. And then poof, look at this. Vasquez just destroyed, using Cricket's body, just destroyed all their hard work. Snowballs. How many minutes have they been working on that? It's kind of unsure. Because I'm not sure how far away Cricket's house is from Remy's mansion. And they walked, kind of fastly walked there. And it's not Bill's truck that went to, you know, Remy's house. I mean, they didn't take it back to Cricket's house, so. And then Remy's like, Cricket, are you okay? He's like, Vasquez is here. He's like, Vasquez? And then they're just getting attacked by snowballs. I love this. Cricket's like, Remy, protect your vitals. I have too many vitals. And Cricket's like, Vasquez, time out. And then they're like, whew. This does not make any sense. You can clearly see that Remy's eyes are closed, and he says, Cricket, look, there he is. And then, then he sees that Vasquez, obviously, is like morphed, so it's not really him. But, it actually kind of looks pretty cool. It looks like the in between the legs. But how did Remy see that? Like, his eyes was closed. And then Cricket said, oh, we fooled you, Vasquez. And it was this glass. And they're like, what? But someone's in there. It was Alice. And they're like, Grandma? And she said, oh, you idiots. Where's Vasquez? And look at Vasquez. I'm right here. And oh my goodness. And I just want to play this right here. I know it's nothing but screaming, but look how tall Vasquez is. He's wearing like this like camouflage uniform, and Cricket is trying to throw a snowball at him. He just ate it and swallowed it. Oh my goodness! And I like how this Alice is like, "Hey Snow," and "Hey Snow, you gonna untie Grandma?" But no, and it's gonna leave right there with the house. I'm pretty cool with the snow. We basically have the B plot of Tilly and Nancy, and they go to the back, and Bill's, planting, and we don't have too much of Bill, which we don't need to, and basically they're saying, "Oh, hey Bill," like, "Oh, hey guys, hey look, this is Margaret," and Bill's playing along. "Oh, hey Margaret," and say, "Oh, we're trying to do everything we can to have her life in one day," and the next thing is to fall in love. You gotta kiss Margaret. Obviously, Tilly's like, "Oh my goodness," and Bill's like, "Makes perfect sense," and he gives Margaret a kiss on the snow cheek, and he's like, "I love you, Margaret," and he blushes a little bit. "Oh, thanks," and then "Oh shoot, oh Bill, we need you to dump Margaret," and Bill's doing it nicely, the way that I think you're supposed to do it. I mean, never broken up with someone before, so in the comments below you can tell me how so wrong I am, and Bill's like, "Oh, Margaret, I'm so sorry, but I think we should see other people." Obviously, Tilly and Nancy being too dramatic. "Oh no, so cruel," and Nancy had to say, I mean, it's Nancy we're talking about, so even Bill gave a look like, "Really, Nancy?" But whatever, too. Is it, "Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Trust me, I know." Okay, Nancy. But Nancy had past experiences with Bill, and she knows Bill's quirks, and she doesn't love all of them, which I guess you don't really have to love all of them, but you know what I mean. And, I didn't like this, where it's like, "Oh, Mom, where are we going?" Well, the next thing on the list, I know, but we had to skip a few because Margaret is going to melt pretty soon. But Tilly's like, "What about setting Papa's fire tools on fire?" Just stuff like that line right there, along with, what was it, that camping episode, which I still don't understand why Bill didn't just take Cricket and Remy to an actual wilderness. I still don't understand that. No one explained it to me. Whatever. Is it money issue? Cricket, Bill didn't explain that. Whatever. I'm so mad about that. But when Tilly and Nancy were talking about like how they like set a fire or something, and then they said, "Oh, probably you shouldn't talk about you talk to your dad about that," because even Nancy's kind of, "Ooh, that was kind of too much." So you kind of planning something else kind of like that. I know Nancy's kind of rebel, but isn't her arc supposed to be a better mom and a better person, not setting things on fire? Is it just me? Because she even said no buying illegal fireworks for Cricket. What happened to that? Come on. Whatever. And then that kind of infuriated me a little bit. Not too much to say this is a bad episode, but still kind of irked me. And basically, basically I'm gonna kind of go over the B plot mostly, most of it. So until I go back to the A plot, because basically, we go to the aquarium, and the polar bears, they're not gonna open until they're not gonna come until 5 minutes, and then obviously they don't have 5 minutes, so we gotta go. Well, but the polar bears, and Margaret, they're just white animals. She gets it. She's white. She's made of snow. Next thing, and go to the movie theater. Next thing, but it said like the previous about to start, and then the next thing, and then tells what's going on with her, and like, "Hey, Margaret's doing an ollie. She's on a skateboard. Next thing, she went to do this thing. The next thing, what was it, mini golf? I'm not sure. And we basically get to Cricket and Remy. They're like panting, and they're also sweating. Like, did we escape Vasquez? I think so. Oh, my heart's pounding. The reason why Vasquez was behind, not by too far, because he's like, "Oh dang, you can hear my heartbeat?" Like, yeah, I can. What was that? We have Vasquez in his helicopter. They're like, "Oh no, he's in a chopper. He has a Snowzooka." He shoots it, and it knocks over a car, and someone was in there. Vasquez has no mercy. He's like, "Excuse me." Like, "You knocked over my car." Vasquez doesn't care. And then, just like I was saying before about the consequences, where Remy said, "Oh, Vasquez, you're rehired. You're rehired. You know how to do this." And Cricket's like, "Yep, you see, you can be Remy's bodyguard again. Everything can go back to normal." And then Remy's like, "Vasquez, don't you see us?" all you see, the Cricket and Remy models morphed into cockroaches and just fire around his eyes. And he's like, Vasquez squash bug. And, Cricket's like, oh, he's too far gone. See, the consequences. If you don't use your brains, then this doesn't happen. You know Vasquez was CIA, or like a big city green version of that. You know this would happen. Whatever. They're facing the consequences, so it's fine. Like, yeah, this should be happening to you. If this wasn't happening, I was like, Vasquez, you were CIA. You should be doing better. But no, he's doing great. I'm team Vasquez. But we have Tilly. It's like, oh, howdy, Vasquez, and then poof, it blasts off Cricket's hat, and he's like, oh, and I like how Nancy's like, hey, we're walking here, and she's like, oh, dang, I said the thing, and he's like, oh, you're not who I seek, like, to shoot, and then Nancy's like, oh, well, Vasquez, you're not my snow person who I need to buy more pizzas for. And it's like, oh, how's Margaret doing with that final slice? It's like, oh, she's eating it right now. And her coffee? Well, I mean, she's starting to sloosh, Mama. And you think we should... And like, Nancy's just so quick, she accidentally bumped Tilly. And they go into that motorcycle bar thing. That's where Phoenix ended up, because that's where Nancy was at. And... Where was it? It's like, Tilly had enough. He's like, has had enough. Mama, we need to talk. He's like, no, not now. And she's trying to unwrinkle the dollar. He's like, we can do the mechanical bull ride. That's where they're there. And then we can do this and we can do that. And then Tilly's like, Mom, like, what's wrong with you? And then the mechanical bull obviously launches Margaret. Oh no, poor Margaret, and onto the wall. Is like, no, we can reform her, then we can continue the list. And Tilly's like, can I have a word with you, please? And I like how the bartender's kind of like, oh, milk on the rocks. Okay, even though it was ice. And she's like, oh, just how I like it. Hey, Mama, I don't like the sight of Margaret melting either. Like she's kind of like my friend. Like, but snow people melt all the time. It's just a natural part of life. Is something else plaguing you? And I just like her talk, like something plaguing you. I like it. And it's like, oh, you're more mature. Like when I first came back into your lives, you're more mature than I gave you credit for, and like you just totally figured me out. And just seeing Margaret's life just flash before my eyes, I kind of see her as like another daughter. It kind of reminded me of you, and just how you got your ears pierced, and you dealt with all this stuff with Chip, and you're working the sand, you're farming, you've grown up kind of so much, and that you're under your dad's wing along with Grandma, and just how much time I just missed by making a stupid mistake and going to jail, and all the time that I'm not with you, and you're just hanging out with your brother or Remy or your friends or Andromeda or your dad or Grandma doing something. I'm not with you. It's just kind of like wasting time, and you're growing up so fast, and you have Tilly drinking the milk, and she's trying to use her tongue to clean the milk mustache, and I like how Nancy's kind of laughing. Oh, I guess you're still a kid after all. Like, I was kind of over-exaggerating. Like, Tilly's like, Mama, Margaret's life might be for a day, but we still have a whole lifetime, and what matters is what we do now, and it doesn't really matter what we do in the past as long as we learn from it. And she's like, oh, Sugar, love you, Till. And, I'm sorry I got so crazy about this whole thing. And I just, man, I know it's not a big deal, but I really wish Margaret didn't have to melt. I love this so much. Till it's like, maybe she doesn't have to. She took like a small snowball clump, took one of the eye pieces, which is like a screw. Was it a screw? Yeah, I think so. Along with a piece of twig, and puts it in the freezer. And I love how they're not in full jackets; they're just in sweaters. I love it. Mother daughter hug, until it's like best snow day ever. Meanwhile, back to the massacre. Vasquez launches his snow Zuka and just onto to the gate. and even before the whole finishing of the B plot, oh, excuse me, Cricket and Remy, it's like, in order to defeat Vasquez so he could become your bodyguard, I think we just have to win this thing and try to survive. And Remy's like, okay. And then I like how Vasquez is like a tracker. Oh, they have returned to the nest. I love it. And he obviously sees two people. It's like, oh, Cricket and Remy gonna get caught. But they're more smart than I give you credit for. But well, maybe it was Remy's idea. It could have been Cricket's or both of them. And then, and then, and then he's like, oh, you fool. And he's like, well, what happened? It's just Alice and Benny. I guess Benny got stuck. Pretty cool. And then Cricket and Remy are just blue. Oh my goodness! They're just in their underwears. They're barefoot. Like they have no pants. They're just underwear. I love this line. Remy's like, we took off our clothes so our body temperature will lower to the snow level so you can see us. And Cricket's like, yeah, because we're smart. That is a way to. I don't take this to heart because this is only what I believe, and please don't try this with actual like polar bears or anything. Please, research, please. And I just want to say this just in case. But I think this is how you can avoid predators, right? With not having your heat signature being tracked, right? Isn't this like a thing? Like if a predator smells you by like your sweat and by your heat, if you're in the snow and you're not wearing any clothes other than underwear maybe, then your core temperature drops and then they won't see you, or at least they can't smell you, right? Isn't that a thing, or am I just going crazy? It might be a thing. I'm not sure. Do your research, please, before you try that. Research. But basically, it's like now to win, and Remy has a drone and pulls a pile of snow into Vasquez. I love this. It's like they're on top of him. It's like, and also the blue went away, but they're no longer in the snow. They're on top of it. It's like, that's it, Remy. We won. Vasquez is. I was like, okay, Vasquez didn't come out, right? And he grabs Cricket by the leg, puts him in the snow. He's like, Remy, run! And he's like, Vasquez, please stop. And he's like, Vasquez, squash bug. He's like, okay, fine. If I can't win, I'll lose. He's like, what? You said you promised me a good game, and that's what I asked for. Come on, like right here. I love it so much. Obviously, Vasquez is kind of conflicted because he's like, Vasquez, squash bug. You see the cockroach kind of frowning, kind of crying, and turns back into Remy. The fire dies out in his brain. He takes off his sunglasses. He's like, oh, Master Remy, I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me? And he says, like, oh, done and done. Like, Vasquez, can you be my bodyguard again? And he says, oh, yeah, yes, like a million times yes. Okay, cool. And then your critic says, oh, love conquers all. Because, he loves him as kind of like a son to him in a way, or like a nephew. That's pretty cool. And I like how Alice just puts the Snowball Cricket as like the top of a snowball. Is it, Grandma, hey, oh, that'll teach you to use your grandma's bait. And also Grandma and Benny, got untied. But that's pretty cool. And that's the end of the episode. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. Let's see. 95. I give this a 95, just like the first half. I thought this was another fantastic episode. Really, my only major complaint, I would say, I kind of don't want to do this, but since they didn't actually go, since they didn't go through with it, but it still kind of irks me that they were kind of thinking this would be a good idea, but but they didn't go through with it. The whole setting something on fire thing that was like on the list to do with Margaret, even though that was gonna melt her anyway, because fire. But whatever. I'm kind of willing to let that go since it didn't go through with it. The only thing that really irked me is that Remy somehow saw the glass Vasquez and assumed it was him, even though his eyes were closed. Because we saw him get up, his eyes were closed, and he's like, "Oh, there he is. How do you know? Your eyes were shut." Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe his eyes were open, but he sees there's kind of snow on it. It's kind of looking like that. Maybe, but his eyes were closed. I understand like the snow was in his face, but that doesn't give you excuse to having that type of vision. Like, you know what I mean? Am I crazy? But anyway, so both halves, 95. I thought they were fantastic episodes. The first half was a Gloria episode, which I'm really glad. The second half was a Remy episode. Pretty cool. Gloria and Remy. Maybe they have more interactions. Who knows? And for the B plot, obviously, for the first half, it was about Bill. Second half was about I can totally see everyone saying like both Tilly and Nancy, but I kind of like it to narrow down to one person if I can. And I would say Nancy, because Nancy's one who's afraid of Tilly growing up, and the one who's rushing Margaret through, doing all these things and stuff, and rushing through everything so she doesn't melt, and the one who's you're being comforted by Tilly. I just feel like this is more about Nancy, but even though Tilly is a big part of it, so I can totally see people say, well, I would say Tilly and Nancy. Thumbs up, that's good, but I would say Nancy. Oh, that's pretty cool how the first half was about Bill, and the other half was about Nancy, and them kind of being uncomfortable, and it's about them reaching new comfort zones. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool parallels. And, yeah. So, everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully earlier, for Big City Green Season 2, Episode 24, and that is Mages and Mazes, which is, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, basically, and which has a clip, and the second half has a clip also. It's called OK Karaoke, basically. So that's going to be pretty fun. That's going to be tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for that. Okay? Bye.